Welcome to the Smoking Word. Welcome to the Smoking Word.
What's up, everybody? We are back with another one. The Smoking Word podcast is coming at you live once again, and always brought to you by CasaDeRock.com. CasaDeRock.com is my merch store if you haven't heard already. T-shirts, we got some shorts, we got some new slides, we got pins. If you want it, we got it. Everything is $21. Well, not everything. Every T-shirt is $21 for 2021. That's how we celebrating. If you want to support the show, you want to support me, or you just want to look good, CasaDeRock.com is the spot. And also, California, we're coming. But before California, we got some dates coming up in about 2 weeks from when this podcast comes out. We got some shows with Gore and I Hate God. I don't got them in front of me, but look out for that. And then California, the week after that. So we got some shit going on, punk rock bowling and a bunch of other shit coming on. So stay tuned and look out for everything Madball. Patreon. What can I say? Shout out to my Patreon army for holding me down. I just finished recording a special Patreon You See It First episode with a special guest. And let's just say he's a favorite, an all-time favorite of ours. And boy, did we talk some shit. You ain't going to want to miss it. So patreon.com/the Smoking Word. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/the Smoking Word. And there's 4 tiers of what you can sign up for $2, $5, and so on. You get different things for every floor, and you get exclusive footage. Like this podcast, you ain't going to want to miss. Trust me, we talk some shit, and we had a blast. So you're going to want to tune in. We're going to be doing stuff like that. We're going to be coming at you live from the road, coming at you live from the backstages, live from the airports. That's the exclusive stuff that all my patron family gets. So shout out to everybody then. Shout out to everybody around the planet who's been tuned in and subscribing. Listen, if you're listening only, that's cute. But we need you to listen and subscribe. Subscribing is free. And if you want to ball and you want to make baller status, join the Patreon. So but shout out to our Patreon family. Shout out to everybody around the planet who's been tuning into the Smoking Word podcast. We're hitting this shit hard. We're not playing no games. We have a lot of plans. We have a lot of new footage also dropping on Smoking Word TV. So I need everybody to go to YouTube right now. Subscribe to Smoking Word TV. You listen, you guys always hit me up on DMs. How could I help? How could I do this? How could I do that? Listen, let's start with one that's free. Subscribe. Finesse that subscribe button, right? We start with that. You can leave a comment if you want. You can ring a bell. Do whatever you think does. And then you want to step it up. You join the Patreon family and support the show. Repost. What do you call it? Repost the episodes. Leave comments. Just spread the word. You know, we out here. We're trying to spread the word and just trying to keep things fresh and sexy for everybody. But thank you to everybody who's been tuning in again. And for all my European and everybody else living outside the USA, CasaDeRock.eu is where you need to go. I do not ship international because the fucking shipping fees are off the hook, and I will not do that to you. But anything on CasaDeRock.eu gets shipped around the world. My man Theo will take care of you. GSR in the fucking house. But make sure to go there, and everybody else, you know, thank you for supporting. Thank you for tuning in. And this week, I figured who better than to get my brother, New Jersey, but / the Bay Area's finest, the one and only Cris Powerhouse. Let's set this shit off.
Yeah.
technology like a motherfucker. I just had the drum roll going. I said, drum roll, please.
That's right.
Just for the record, you everything works. I got all these technical motherfuckers that I get from studios. They can't even get the volume up. They can't get the.
Yo,
what's going on?
Good to see you, brother. What's good?
Not good. Nothing. Back on this shit. You know, I was like, as you know, there's been a little bit of a, we had a little bit of a fucking hiccup, in the program. Again, shout out to my brother. Rest in peace to my brother Dave. Always, you know the deal.
Man.
But part of my brother's grind was one of those dudes that you got to keep rocking. So we started trucking on this, and I was like, yo, you know what? I gotta get. And a lot of people been asking, when are you gonna get Powerhouse? And I said, I think it's time.
Yo, here I am.
I think it's time.
Yeah, that's right.
But first of all, what's up? What you been up to? I know what you've been up to, but let the people know what you've been up to.
What I've been up to. You're trying to survive another day, brother. Usual shit.
But working is good. You've been. I know this, but like for everybody out there that may not know, Cris is a painter, and I don't mean like Bob Ross. But he's Bob Ross.
Don't know happy little trees, bro.
he don't do the happy. He's nice like Bob Ross, but he don't do the happy little trees.
Yeah, we do shit. But yeah, we do that, man. We do that.
Paints your house.
We never got shut down. We were working in hospitals. We were doing all sort of shit, bro. But we never stopped, man. So
hell yeah, and
that's good. We're fortunate with that. I can't complain. And what else? I mean, obviously, people heard. I mean, we've been jamming again. I mean, me and Eddie been at this for fucking 2.5 years already. Jamming, trying to get out.
No, I remember you already, you were talking about, you were jamming and doing it, and putting stuff together. And then now we're finally starting to see this stuff. That's why I figured it's a good time too, because, now the package is put together more,
Bro, actually, you know what? It was like, I think the end of 2018, bro. It's been almost 3 years, man. And we've been jamming. We have a song we've been playing. We have a brand new song we've been playing for fucking like 2.5 years.
It ain't that brand new.
Ain't even
but
out.
I know, but the last year almost don't count because there's like a year that's kind of like, it was like a kind of a wash the first little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. We're hungry though, bro. I mean, we got 6 new songs, we recorded them. We started working on them, and actually, unfortunately, the hard drive crashed. We lost all the music, so we got.
Oh, that's a fucking nightmare,
bro. We were bummed. I mean, we caught a vibe too, man. Like it was good, man. Like it was a dope weekend. We did a Powerhouse style. Had all the friends come through. We brought the barbecue. We were cooking and chilling and just, And just like the first time,
donkey punch.
We all linked and we were barbecuing at Ernie's. It was the same shit, man.
You got donkey punched.
That's the donkey punch.
But fucking no, I've been seeing but that's good. But fucking and what's the deal right now in California in general? I mean, I don't even got regular TV or regular news. I tune in here and there, but like things open as far as restaurants. I mean, everybody's doing shit different out here. Things are open. I mean, things been open. Right now, they want, so SF particularly, this is the first city. I mean, she's on something, but some of the moves she's made are cool. Some of them seem a little, I don't know, whatever. I mean, who am I to say? I'm not the expert. I don't know any of this shit, but I do know things are fairly regular. I can go to the gym. We can put on a show. You go to a restaurant. They do want to see proof of vaccination. They were like, so they do ask for that at a restaurant
out here. Yeah, it's the first place. They ask.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So they do. But they're actually talking about making it mandatory statewide here.
Yeah, no, I know. I think they trying to get that. They're trying to get that everywhere. I guess, or a lot of places. And what's the deal with so shows? What's the deal with the shows? More importantly,
just like IEG and Live Nation. They're out here. They're saying, "Yo, you want to come to a show? You got to show proof of vaccination." That's what's
gonna be. That's what it is for Live Nation. It's gonna be that. Yeah, it's that.
So I mean, if you got a card, cool. I don't know how you get your card, but if you got a card, cool.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So and is there hardcore shows going on?
Yeah, there's been a lot of shows. I mean, the first one that I actually went to was some wild shit these dudes at Dead City Punks put on.
Yeah, shout out to them. I know they're wilding. Yeah, you went to I seen the
bro.
The one they did up there, they did another wild style one out there, right?
Bro, the dude that kind of like they chose to kind of put it in this homeless encampment, yo, and yo, it was wild. It was ignorant, yo. It was ignorant. I was just like, yo, you weren't even worried about COVID there, bro. There's like so much like just like
other shit
like,
you got to worry about.
You know, everything else. Like you got to worry about all sort of other shit besides like bubonic plague and like
yeah, right. Yeah, fuck COVID, bubonic.
Yeah, some draconian shit. Like you're just like, yo, what the fuck? But,
they wild, yeah, they wild.
The dude that run that spot got kind of heated about the whole shit and pulled into the middle of the crowd in the car, like pushed his way through the crowd in his car and then pulled a gun out. Shot it in the air. He shot it in the air and then started pointing at everybody.
Get out of here! I didn't know that.
And then he just like jumped on the gas and people just dove out of the way, trying not to get to run the fuck over, man.
Get the fuck out of here! I didn't know that.
It was wild, dude. Yeah. I'll send you. I got the video of it. I'll send it.
Oh, there's video. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta see that. Let's see.
Yeah, it's some ignorant shit, dude.
So that was the first show you came back. You went back to.
Yeah. That was the first one I saw. Yeah. And it was cool. I mean, it was wild. I mean, that's shit. I don't know, 1,000 people there, something like that. You know. I mean,
yeah.
Up in LA, like a few weeks earlier, they did. I don't know. 3,500 people or something. I heard showed up, but yo, the cops showed up and started shooting at everyone with bullets and shit.
Bro, I heard, yeah, and I know that was a big one. That was the one they did in LA. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I was glad, you know, it was good. We, and that's the thing. People also, forget that's the one thing. LA, especially LA, had that big backyard scene. In Cali too. Like for back in the day with the thrash metal, but like in the punk, it was that backyard. Real DIY, not that, it was that backyard like that, what they did, they always had that culture, we knew about it then. I remember thinking like, playing hardcore shows first time in the West Coast and thinking, it's like back home, okay, yeah, there's punk and there's, and I'm like, there's that whole other world in the West Coast with that, like those punks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Next level.
They're next level for real. They're like, they don't
we played some backyard shit. I remember one time we were like in North Oakland somewhere and we're playing and and like it's in the backyard and it's some like squatter punk shit and they got like they all got dogs and this and that. Nobody's cleaning up dog shit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You guys been drinking now and whatever, and we're like probably the last band playing. I don't even remember. But all I do remember is these guys start like, they want to start circle pitting and this and that. But and it's like the lawn was like the festivals in Europe. You know how like it's just a big mud puddle. It's disgusting. Yeah. It was like that. And they start dancing around, but meanwhile, they're not paying attention to the fact that there's dog shit everywhere. And now they're falling down, and now they're rolling in the dog shit and this and that. Next thing I know, the entire band is pushed up against like the garage, like trying to stay as far the fuck away from everybody, just to not get like creamed with fucking dog shit.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah, I got mad when I saw that LA show, though, the whole punk rock LA, when they did that shit. Obviously, playing the New York shit was dope. And when I saw that, when I started seeing it pop, I was like, this got to happen everywhere. But it stopped. Like, they still rep it. Those guys still, Section 8 and all these guys, they're still doing it. But I was hoping that all the scenes would start. And then, without getting into politic bullshit, but then you saw why it didn't happen because some people went this way with it, and some people went that with it. We saw it, from playing our show. People fucking flipped on us for doing something we wanted to do.
I don't know. No one's ever gonna be happy, man. I mean,
exactly. We know that. It was like as long as we were happy, man. I'm still happy for that.
I mean, everybody's trying to live at this point. I'm just trying to live, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. And fucking, but now even more during this whole shit, I'm like, now more time than ever, people must have shit to sing about. If people ain't making records, angry records, like now, like it's like now's the time to sing about a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, bro. I feel like I written some of my best lyrics over the last little bit.
Yeah, I hear you. And fucking and let me ask you this. All right, so on this so when was the last time that you guys wrote songs? But all right, so you were writing songs the last couple of years. So that means a song here, song there. Did you pick up that at the last year? It seems like, or the last, I don't know, I guess let's say in the last year, seems like where the band started
Oh yeah, the momentum
being
really
more,
started gaining.
more
Yeah.
man.
So,
Now, did you write a couple of songs in that bunch, or you just did one song a while, one song a while, one? Did you ever write a bunch of songs in
did.
in a
did,
section of time?
So, me and Eddie. So Walter was in my ear for probably 6 or 7 years, being like,
Oh,
let's do this band again. Let's do this band again. And I'm like,
of course.
I'm like, and my position always was because Cuz had asked me to play the bowl. Joe Harcourt asked us to play This Is Hardcore. But this was, years and years and years ago. My answer was always, you get Ernie on stage and I'll be there.
Yeah.
If you get Ernie there, I'm there 100%. And they just like, all right, we get it, respect. And that's just how I left it for the longest time. And for the longest time, I was just like, I don't do this band without Ernie.
Yeah.
That was where I stood with it. But over time, I started to realize, I was like, I'm gonna let him fade away. And I don't want to do that. Like, we need to do this again. Like, I have to. And so Walter kind of caught me at a moment of weakness, I guess, one time back in New York. And he's like, come on, let's do it. I'm like, all right, cool, we'll do it. And we called up Eddie. I said, Eddie, we're thinking we're gonna do this. You want to do it? Because we can't do it without you. He's like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll do it. And Casey was with us at the time. So we said to Casey, hey, Casey, bro, like, I think you're the guy. Like, if anybody's going to do this, I feel like Ernie would respect you. Like, I know, like, for me, there's a familiarity there. Like, there's things about him that, are Ernie-esque, I guess you could say. Like, where I'm like, okay, like, this feels right,
Yeah.
And he kills it. I mean, he was with Pro Mags, he was with Old Firm. I mean, he played with a million bands. He's killing it on bass, dude. So we get this thing, we got the whole thing kind of ready to go and this and that and whatever. And I'm like, all right, Walter, all right, what we're going to do? Because, Walter was traveling back and forth because he was playing with DRI at that point. So he was coming back to the Bay all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, we're ready to do this. And he said, oh, yeah, no, I can't do it now. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. Dude, I like reach through the phone and choke him at that point. Yeah. Like, I can't wait.
His neck.
You fucking did that to me, you motherfucker, man. Yeah. And so we're like, all right, cool, whatever. So we let it go. And there was a kid that's here, a good kid. We like him. He was actually a fan of Powerhouse. Just in the scene, he was playing with a bunch of other bands. He's a good drummer. And we hit him up and we say, his name's Max. I'm like, yo, Max, will you jam with us? And at that point, Casey was really busy with Old Firm. So me and Eddie and Max were jamming a bunch. And Eddie came in with this one riff. And that was back in 2018, early 2019. And so we've been jamming this one song forever, man. And it's great. We jammed with Max for a while and Max was good, but there was just we had to get just a little further over the hump, man. And he knew, like, he was giving us everything he had and it was dope because it got us started, but we just couldn't get where we needed to be. And so at that point I went back and I did the Jedi mind trick on Walter.
Yeah.
I flipped it back on him.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, cool, I'll do it. And I got him, and he actually moved back out here. So he's been here since December last year.
Yeah.
So
damn, it's been that long already?
Huh?
It's been that long. I remember when he did the job. Oh yeah.
Bro, he's been here like 9 months already. 10 months. So that's the crazy part. So now Walter, he moved. He stayed with me for a while. I said, yo, bro, come out here, stay with me. You don't got to pay me rent. You can just like stay here, get on your feet, stack your paper, get a job, get situated. And then when you feel like you can, get your own spot. I'm a grown ass man. I ain't trying to have roommates no more. Like, I want to help you out if I can help make this easier. So he did. And while he was here, we were on a tear, bro. Me and him were just writing and coming up with some, what I feel is some pretty dope shit, dude. And
yeah.
We brought it into these guys, and Casey's been writing music. I've been writing music. Eddie's been writing music. And I feel like the shit we got's actually pretty dope. But to answer that question, there was a point where me and Walter had like 3 songs that we had, and Eddie, he was going through some shit. And he didn't make some of the practices, and so then me and Casey and Walter were jamming, and we ended up with 4 songs all of a sudden that Eddie needed to learn. He'd come in, he's like, well, wait, what? Holy shit! There's 4 more songs I gotta learn, and then if it, bro, it gelled, dude. It came together good, man.
And who came up with the name Powerhouse?
That was Ernie. That was Ernie back in the day.
Oh, that was Ernie. Yeah. And I always wondered, like, where did it come from? He just came up with a name.
I think he just liked the name, man. I think that was it. Eddie would be able to answer that better than I could.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Ernie. I mean, Ernie started the band.
And all right, Ernie started the band. What year?
Shit, like 92.
92.
Yeah, yeah, and so that's it. So I got into the band very early in '93. So the band actually existed for probably like 6-8 months before I had actually got in it. And it was Ernie. It was there was Eddie was in the band. There was a dude named Kevin Reed that sang for Attitude Adjustment. If people are familiar,
Yeah, I remember Attitude. Yeah.
Attitude Adjustment. Chris Contos played with those guys. There's this dude Kevin Reed. And they were good. They got a lot of respect back in the day. And Ernie managed to get Kevin to do vocals for them for a while. And that didn't work out. And they had it's funny. You were my GTO. My GTO I was driving it at that point. And I was working on it with this dude that I used to know from back in New Jersey that was now living in the Bay. And we were working on the car, and Ernie pulled up and like threw a tape out the window at Scott and was like, hey, take a listen to this and try out for the band. And like literally like threw it at him and said like, hey, I mean, it's just, and Scott was like, all right, whatever. And meanwhile, we're like, laying in the dirt in East Oakland, like trying to fix this car and shit. But anyway, Scott got in the band and he played with Powerhouse for a while too. And I knew him from, dude, he's probably one of the only people around at this point. My friend Gina, Gina, my friend Gina, used to date Saab back in the day.
Yeah.
Those are probably the handful of people that knew me from when I actually still used to party and do drugs and shit like that.
Yeah.
And Scott knew me from that point, but that's who I came out and I saw out here. And so he when Kevin Reed left, said, hey, come try out for the band. And so at that point, Eric Thomas, Eric Thomas, security guard Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
He was playing drums.
Oh, get out of here. I didn't even know he fucking played.
Yeah, he was playing drums and shit.
I didn't know that.
We've had the Madball experience. We've got a lot of drummers, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. The ringers.
Yeah, hell yeah. But
it's like it was like Madball and fucking Spinal Tap. It's like our drummers just turn a pile of
like another week.
A little pile of putty or whatever they turn into.
Yeah.
And then fucking and yeah, so it was. They said then you got in the band. Now, this is one thing I never knew. Were you ever in a band before that?
No, this was it, man.
So why did they ask you to sing? Like what made them just?
Because they were more of a hardcore band. They were like not a punk rock band. They were a hardcore band. I knew hardcore, and they were just like, oh, maybe try. Like so, I had played like music with my brother and like one of his friends. Like we had like some bullshit that we did, like just the three of us. It was nothing like formal. There was no shows or anything like that. But I went to
a band, like an idea of a band.
I practiced with a band in Jersey. It was like a thrash metal band, and I did do vocals for them back in the day.
Okay, so you had a concept of all right. You had,
and I completely forgot about that. It's been so long. I mean, you're talking. I'm not even gonna say it's been a long time, bro.
Alzheimer's is kicking.
A long time, bro. Yeah.
And fuck. So it's all right. So you had the concept of all right. What a singer does. Yeah. Because I was,
Yeah. And I been going to shows and I hung around with like Scott had done a band called Suburban Chaos. That was from New Jersey. And I was hung out with those guys, and you can see the Social Decay guys around. And
shout out to them.
Well, yeah. All those, the Jersey scene. I was like,
And then I always ask you this, but to let people know. Then what year you're originally from Jersey, and then you moved from Jersey to California, but you went to LA. You were in LA for a minute.
First, I went to LA in '91. So I've been here 30 years, bro. I've been here 30 years.
Jesus.
Fucking crazy, right?
I know, that's crazy. And then you started in LA, and I always laugh because you were in LA, and then you were like, when you tell me the stories, you just weren't built for LA.
No, I was definitely not built for LA, bro. It was not my shit, And nowadays, this is the thing. I went out there with my girlfriend at the time. She was doing special effects makeup.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Definitely. That's when you had that, and then when you went up to the Bay, I think for a minute, but you still were, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because when we met you guys, that was the tail end of my relationship with her.
Yeah, and we were the reason.
Yeah, that's right. You're hanging out with scumbags.
Yeah, there you go with your friends. You're gonna hang out with your friends. Well, let me get you to go on tour, your little band friends on your little van.
100%, bro. But yeah, I came out with her, and LA just wasn't working, man. It wasn't my shit, And now, I didn't really know anybody back then, but I go down there now, I know a lot of dope people. And it's
yeah.
I know. If it was like that, maybe I would have stayed longer, but
I'll tell you something crazy how it is, how times change. So exactly now you think about it like now you know everybody in LA. You know many people like then knowing nobody. I remember at one point doing Hazen Street, and I barely knew people who had weed for sale.
Yeah.
In California, me being in a band, fucking 100. I swear, barely any. It was like freaking Skinhead Rob. I would see him once in a blue, and I had to go to. It was a mission in California because if people don't understand, even though there's people like now it's different because a lot of the people that live there are implants. From other places, they just happen to now live there so long, like you, Maddie Henderson, Dougie, Kevin Noah, and all these people that to me now I'm like, oh no, they're West Coast, but no, they were all
a lot of East Coasters, bro.
Now we go to and it's funny to think that like I remember like always knowing a handful of people, but not like it is the last 10 years, whatever.
Yeah, it's everybody. You just know you're gonna be seeing.
So crazy. So then you went from then you moved. Then when you went up to the Bay, and then how you hook up with Ernie and all those guys. Like, how does that?
So again, I knew Scott. I knew Scott from Jersey. So and he started playing with the band. So he made that intro. So he was just like, yeah, hey, they need a singer. You want to try out? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll give it a try. And so I go to Ernie's house. He's living deep East Side Oakland. He's living on East 14th Street, and I go over there. And he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna try out? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try, give it a shot. And so he doesn't even know what any of the lyrics are for any of the songs. He's like, here's a demo, figure out the lyrics. He's like, go try it out. I'm like, you motherfucker, dude, you motherfucker, man. Yeah. This is like you're gonna call this shit in all day, huh? Yeah. Figure it out. Yeah, that's how he did his shit, man.
Yeah. And then fuck. Okay, you join. You're there. They go, okay, boom, you're in the band.
Right.
You're in the where we link up with you guys on our first trip to California.
That's right. Yeah, 95.
So that was 95, and the first show of that tour, I want to say was it wasn't the show. It was
the showcase in Corona.
The showcase was the first one of that tour.
It was the first one of that tour. That was a show.
And I remember all the shows back then at the spot.
Yeah.
And then there was the show I remember with the Integrity with.
Yeah. Of the Sacramento. That was in Sacramento.
Yeah, where they became the first incredible invisible band.
Yeah.
Now you see them and now you don't.
That was the bit that was the beginning of some wild shit, man.
Yeah, but that was a long story. That's all. But yeah, that was funny. But that was like I remember literally talking. Yeah, and that was like, we literally so we just met on that tour, and that was what 90.
That was 95. That was 95. And we clicked.
Yeah, exactly. And we did that. And then what else was on that tour? There was the Pound on that tour?
No, that was Berkeley Square.
Berkeley Square back then. That was the I used to like that spot.
That was the spot, dude. Yeah, we played there a lot. That was a good spot. But yeah, that was the Berkeley Square. And then we ended up at the Roxy.
Yes.
The Roxy show.
Yeah. And then the next thing I know, all right, we did those shows. And then what after that, what was you came out east or we came out west?
No, we came back. We came out. Rick was the guy that brought us out at that point.
Yeah.
But we ended up playing with you guys at Wetlands. And that was that show when Roger and Kabul and Stigma all got.
Wow, it was you guys were on that. Yeah, that was. I remember that because that was that night when they first epic night. Yeah, when they first got back on stage.
Yeah. I just remember it looked like a fucking tidal wave of people coming at the stage. As soon as they started playing, it was just like holy shit, man! It's like, I was like, god damn.
That was fucking crazy.
It was dope. I mean, but that's what I knew of New York shows. I mean, I went to plenty of shows before I left, and it didn't let me down, didn't disappoint at all,
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: what was the difference? All right, so you went to hardcore shows in New York, then, and what that was, and what year you were going to hardcore shows?
I started seeing shows 86.
Let's say around 86. All right, and then you moved to California when? And when you were going to shows, hardcore shows already then?
It was
not yet.
I mean, there was nothing out there. Because I wasn't connecting with them. Like, so the dudes that were coming through my place, like Burton from Fear Factory came through there because he worked with my roommate. Rob Nicholson from Cryptic Slaughter. He was coming through the house where I lived because he knew one of my roommates, but he worked, the two of them worked with this girl. There was a place, so 99X is New York, right? So out in LA, there's a place called Nana. That's where if you were
same thing, the docks for the docks.
Yeah, if you were to anything alternative, that's where you went for your hair dye and for your studded belts and your docks and your leather shit and all that. That's just where you went, and they happen to work there. And so so I'd see them, you know, but it was more that. It was like, you know, my one roommate was in like, you know, industrial was big at that time. So my other roommate, this dude Lauren, he was doing a band. And he was doing like some industrial shit, but I wasn't connecting with people doing like punk or hardcore. I didn't even know where to look. At that point, dude, I had to ride the bus to work every day, like fucking 2 hours to get to the west side of LA, you know, down by Santa Monica and shit. It sucked. So I wasn't getting around. You know?
It was crazy. It was weird because for us, we were learning as we went. So I guess, you know, you guys were seeing what it was going on too, because you weren't going to, all right. So obviously you guys you already living in fucking in the Bay Area at that time, right? When we started linking up. So that was the first kind of time you seeing how it was popping in LA again, because LA was kind of popping on that tour, or did it pop later?
I don't right. So, you know, at that point, so, you know, again, so when I was in LA, I didn't have a car, man. Like, so I think more of the shit was going on in Orange County. I mean, there was for sure in LA, but I didn't have access to those areas. Yeah. So, you know, but then when we started actually playing shows, you know, at that point, Ignite was making noise. There was a whole bunch of bands that were all starting to click. And, you know, Eric Ozine was a guy, he sang for Redemption 87 up here.
I remember them, Redemption.
He was in that band Unit Pride and all that. And so he had connects with Jordan and Revelation and all that shit. And so he, you know, he had good lines of communication with a lot of bands in LA. So, you know, we all started, you know, in 93 and 94 and, you know, 95 when we met you guys, we really started to, you know, build those relationships with other bands and setting up shows. And so things were shifting at that point. But when I first, I mean, even when I got here, bro, like, you know, Powerhouse, we were playing with metal bands. We were playing with like Machine Head. We were playing with like, you know, anybody and everybody, but there were no hardcore bands. Like we weren't playing with hardcore bands. We were playing mostly metal shows, you know, playing with, you know, it's crazy.
It's crazy how that shit was even back then. Like now, you know, you hear Cali, everybody, LA, but the shows that were popping back then were the showcase outside the fucking you know, those shows were insane. Some of the most crazy Madball West Coast shows were fucking Showcase Theater.
Showcase.
I remember people fucking leaving there in bags, like just fucking
bloody messes and happy about it.
You know what's still one of the craziest Madball shows in the West Coast was? And I think it was Terror Madball, early Terror at the Pound. And I remember it was so hot. They had everybody, the sides open and the ambulance posted up. And I just remember seeing people with bandages when we were playing. They were bloody and still watching the show. But I remember just people getting pulled out one after another. It was just such a crazy place.
I tried to show like that too, where people were walking out of the Berkeley Square, bloody messes, broken teeth, the whole shit with the biggest smiles on their faces, man. Like,
it was crazy. Berkeley Square was and that was a dope spot. Like it was just, I remember like, it was crazy. It was crazy at that time. And you know what's fucking what I remember also so many places on that tour when we were on that fucking on those tours and those runs. I remember going to LA and just like whenever people from up north California went to LA, it was on. I just remember people were like,
there's like a rivalry, man, and I still don't understand it because at this point, I got love for everybody in the state, man. Like if you're down in LA, you're up here. Who cares, man? Like,
do you remember when? All right. So we had the beef in LA at the Whiskey. You remember? Well, you remember the fucking the little tweaker white power kid, half a white power kid, or whatever he was. You remember that? I remember when he was talking to us in the backstage. You remember? You remember?
Like, oh yeah, they ain't with us, and meanwhile, like, you know, they they're all like, you know, this is a fucking.
They all came out of a bus. Listen, everybody, listen. So we're playing the Whiskey, and it's Roxy, yes, the Roxy, and it's us, Power. Who else was on? And it was this band,
Power
Surge,
Power Assault.
We should have known right off the grip. First of all, I gotta call Eric up. Yo, Eric, Power Assault. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're suspect. No, but listen, fucking that name alone should have told us. But anyway,
Okay.
it was us, Powerhouse, playing fucking what was the club? What you just said the name of the club was? Roxy. I keep forgetting the Roxy. So it's our first time, we're in the West Coast, whatever. We don't know who this fucking band is. We didn't even pay attention who, from the name to whatever. But we noticed that fucking they come with a bus load of motherfuckers, like literally a bus.
They chartered a bus. They chartered it.
And mad people were in this bus. But all right, still, I don't get no whiff for nothing. We're hanging out. We're in the backstage, and I remember, I never forget this. I'm talking with you. We're talking with you or something.
Yeah.
And in the band, that's Power Assault or whatever the motherfuckers were called. The dude is like this little. He reminds me of this dude. I don't even want to say his name, but a New York guy who's real wiry and tries to flex his veins on his neck, and he reminded me. He looks like a gargoyle, but this kid looked like him, right? Remember, we were like looking at him, and he's all tweaked out, and then I remember this kid coming up the stairs all bloody with like a television on his head or something.
Yeah, right.
You remember? And we're like, what the fuck? We don't even want to touch this guy. And he's like, oh, he says something. And we're like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah, and then, long story short, we start getting the word that there's some suspect shit going on. And then Powerhouse starts setting up. And I remember, they're like, yo, there's some fucking people going on. We're about to get into some beef. And we're like, no. Just go play. I remember being on the side and say, fuck it, just set up and go. We said, listen, nobody's doing nothing. Go set up and start playing. So we're all standing on the side. And I remember you guys set up, you start playing. And then I'm watching. And then I start seeing the hands flare. I start seeing the Hitler hellos.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Yeah. And I never forget this. First, there was that one kid, that Mexican kid. He would roll with you guys a little bit. You remember he was dancing, and they were they were snuffing him. Yeah, we didn't see it, but I remember him dancing. And at first, we kind of thinking like, all right, he's just kind of, they don't know him in this town, and he's kind of roughing him up, but not like that. But then I saw they were trying to snuff him, and I'm like, yo, is this beef happening? Because again, I want everybody out there to know we're our first times in the West Coast, and we're thinking, L.A. There's no, we hear LA like New York, there's no way there's going to be like white power people blatantly in the open, like, fucking Zeke Highland people and all that shit. We're like, yo, it ain't the boonies. Fucking, we're thinking Los Angeles, the Sunset Strip, all that bullshit. And these motherfuckers start Zeke Highland and doing all this fucking sucker shit.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And then I remember you guys already ready to jump off, and we're like, chill. Because we're also trying to get that, we're out there living on fucking scraps, and we're like, yo, let's fucking try to make the show happen so we could get paid. And I remember, a scrap almost happened when you guys were on stage. And I never forget this. And I'll say this, I don't even know if I ever told you this, but I talked about it with somebody. There was this fucking girl, Zeke Highland, you guys. But she was hot.
Aryan girl, blonde girl, yeah.
Yes.
Like
I hate to say it, but she was hot. And I remember she was hot, and I was like, damn, look at this fucking hot girls in Thailand, these dudes. What a shame. Yeah, but anyway.
I remember her too, bro. I remember her.
I remember she was the one who started it. Like, she was like egging that shit in hard. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I never forget this. I always remember this. So, Izad. What was the promoter's name?
Izad. Yep.
Like, again, a lot of promoters. I don't know what's his story as a promoter to everybody out there, but you always hear stories of some promoters being cool, some dicks or whatever. He was always great with us. He was always good with us. Yep. And that day, I never forget. He goes, yo, we get off. You guys get off, and he said, listen, if you guys, man, these fucking guys here, they're here to start shit. Listen, I understand. Listen, he was going to pay us. He's like, don't worry about playing. And we were like, don't worry about playing. Are you fucking kidding me? We're going to go on in 5 fucking minutes. Like, are you bugging? It's on. And I never forget this. Tiny, rest in peace, was there. And Aris, for fucking Downset. And I remember Tiny, right after Azot said that, I'm like, nah, we're fucking playing. And, you know, all of us we said, oh, we're all going to stay together, whatever. And Tiny gives me his hand. And I'm like, yo, Tiny, yo, be safe, man. Yo, just this, you know, because I'm thinking, like, you know, he's coming as a guest.
Sure.
I ain't trying to get him involved in our shit. And like, yo, you know, better you be out, you know, just because, you know, don't get involved with this shit. You don't need to. And he's like, be out. Are you crazy? Hoya, what's up? It's on. I'm getting goose pimples right now.
Bro.
And Aris too. Aris was like, yo, what's up, Hoya? Fuck that. Yo, let's do this. And I was like, yo, it's fucking on. You know, and then we play what ends up happening? We play a couple of songs.
You guys played, I think you got through like maybe the first 2 or 3 songs, and that one kid jumped up at the edge of the stage and Sig Heil right in front of Freddie, and he threw the mic down and said, it's on.
And then it was, I remember fighting to rip off the drum mic, and I think I had a harder fight with the drum mic than any of the white power dudes.
I never seen a drummer's drum kit get stripped, like broke down so fast in my life, dude.
Right? I was like, yeah, why we can't do that during a regular show, right?
Hell no.
That shit was like on crates, like the cars with the tires.
100%.
Of course, you know how many Mexicans you were with? They stripped that shit blind. You kidding me? You get it was like fucking. No, and I always remember that. Oh, and we had a blast. Oh, that whole trip was fucking.
Yeah, bro, that was dope, man. Barbecuing up at Ernie's house and making Stigma eat the hot peppers and shit.
Yeah, Ernie would fucking be barbecuing in the hood, and then and I remember us. We were like, "Yo, you know, we're trying to find a hotel." The one time he goes, "Yeah, I got the perfect spot for you." And me and Narc talk about this all the time. Ernie, rest in peace. Ernie takes us to the most hood ghetto motel in Oakland, and he's like, yo, the minute we walk in, all we see is eyeballs coming out the shades. Remember? Like, oh,
you can hear the crack rocks crushing under your shoes and shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yo, Narc didn't sleep. He was the whole time. He didn't even sit down. He stood by the window looking in. Oh, he was like, I don't trust nobody. Yo,
I remember hearing that story. Yo.
So crazy. And then Powerhouse. When was how many times you guys made it out to Europe?
We made it out there, so we went out there. We got to go with AF on the Something's Gotta Give tour, which was dope.
That was dope. Yeah,
that was a dope one. And you know, I mean, AF is just, I mean, they're treated fucking like kings out there. And I mean, for us to be able to roll with them, that was pretty fucking special, dude.
Yeah, so that's a good time, yeah.
And then we did a Vans Warped Tour that Ignite headline too. And that was with SNFU and us and
Snoofle with Snoof.
It was Snoofle. Yeah. And we did that one, and that was cool too. I mean, those guys Ignite kills it out there too, man. They're
doing a record. I just seen.
I've seen that. I'm excited for them. I talked to Brett the other day, man. I'm excited for those guys.
I just hit them up. I'm gonna get them on here too. Yeah, me too. I'm psyched they're doing it. And I talk to Zoltan always, you know.
Yeah. I love that dude.
Yeah, I love it. You know, some may not. But yeah. I do. Zoltan, I love you, Zoltan.
That's right, man.
Yeah, the He's best. Great. Fucking shout out to all you Pelicans out there in Wales.
Yeah, but he said that to us. Well, he said to me and Ernie one time we were staying down there. He come in at like 8:30 in the morning. He's like trying to fucking like him and Ernie had like this thing between them. He starts like pushing on Ernie's shoulders, like, hey, you want to come say some fucking Pelicans with me?
It's what every Spanish dude. He tells me to this day, he'll hit me like, yo, what time you get in? You want to come help me clean Pelican shit? I'm like, yo, dude, I got some of the, listen, if some people could get into my hard drive, the footage I have of him, like, you know, him helping these fucking, totally. Tell everybody out there, despite what you may think of my brother Zoltan, if you hate him, love him, think of his fantasy with whales or whatever. That motherfucker really does that shit.
He walks the walk, dude. He definitely walks.
I got footage of him having pelicans trying to bite his head off while he's trying to take hooks out of these motherfuckers. I seen it.
Yeah, they're big birds, bro. He's fighting.
I would soccer kick these things if they did what they try to do to him to me.
Yo.
You know, but you know, shout out to Zoltan for doing. No, but he lives that shit. But it was good that I saw Brett in the studio. I seen all of them. Like, it was good to see.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, bro. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be good, man.
Yeah, and then fucking but yeah, so you got to do a couple. Powerhouse did a couple European tours, right?
Oh yeah.
And what else? Did you do Asia?
Just Japan. Just hit Japan. We played with a band called Numb.
Of course, Numb.
Yeah, they're great.
Shout out to them. They're OGs out there.
Those dudes, great dudes.
Shout out to all my fucking Japanese. Man, I want to go back there so bad. It's been so long. Shout out fucking Makoto, everybody out there.
Yeah.
Fuck the squad. So many fucking bands. Who I remember the bands? Who else was out there? Fucking besides, of course, them, of course, Aggressive Dogs. Besides Uzi, shout out to my bro. But also fucking and also damn. So I'm having a brain fucking fart, man. So many fucking.
There's a lot. Yo, they're legit bands out there, man. They're good.
Yeah, it was good. How crazy was it touring there the first time? You go out there, it's like,
bro, like. I'm kind of picky with my food.
Oh, forget it. Good luck out there. I love it there, but
they eat some funky ass shit. We were there for I think a total of like 5 days. I lost 11 pounds.
Yeah,
and I even have 11 pounds to lose.
What did you eat out there? Just rice?
Yeah, I ate rice. I ate some Oreos. Like everything was mad expensive. Dude, I was just like, fuck. Like
Oreos.
It was brutal, man. But yeah, I mean, those guys rage, dude. Like fucking Eddie, they get that little toilet. You got to shit in a little rectangle on the floor. Like Eddie was so wasted, he fell in it at one point. And fucking, these guys were out of their minds, dude. But yeah, I fought with Ernie. So check this out. So when we were getting ready to go to Japan, we were on blackout, and we went to Japan in November. Ernie's birthday was the same as Freddie's, November 4th.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to go and we're going to be there. Like, I think we were leaving. So Ernie loved Halloween too. And I think we were flying out on Halloween and we were going to come back on November 4th. Or we were going to be flying home on his birthday. And this is a dope opportunity to go to Japan. Fuck that. I'm not going to Japan. Fuck that. I want to be home for my birthday. Fuck that shit. I'm like, bro, but we can go to Japan. We can go play. You don't want to go? I want to be home for my birthday. Fuck that stupid tour. Fuck that shit. He was difficult as fuck, bro. Like, I fought with him for probably 3 or 4 weeks about it because everybody else was down. The label was down. The promoter, that kid Mitch out there, he was ready to bring us out. Like, the whole shit was like, the wheels were greased, bro. It's like, oh, hey, this will be dope. I want to go check it out. Who knows when I'll ever go back there again,
Exactly. That's fucking Japan. You kidding me?
Bro, I literally knocked heads with him every fucking day for weeks. And then I looked into the flights to figure some shit out. And it turns out that we were going to be in Japan until like 7:00 that night in Japan. And then we would get on a plane and we will fly home and we will arrive back in California at like 10 a.m. on the same day. And all of a sudden he's like, you mean I can have my birthday twice? This is the thing ever. Like to go to fucking Japan. It's like, you motherfucker, bro. Like, you gotta understand too. Like, when we were it's not just arguing. Like, it gets to the point that he gets so heated that now he's ready to he wants to fight. Like, a swing. And I was like, bro, you really, like, I'm telling you, you go to Japan and you want to fight me because you don't want to Japan, dude. What the fuck?
Crazy.
Greatest shit ever. Then it's the greatest shit ever because
birthday twice. What a nut job. What a
dude.
nut job. It's dope. No, but it's dope that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I tell people, like, your band taking you there. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, like, you get to fucking take, you went to Europe a couple of times, you go to fucking Japan. These are people, some people save up their whole lives to make these trips happen. You know what I mean? We get to do it. We get to do it because people actually want to hear our bullshit noise.
Well, that's dope too. And if you're fortunate enough, you're going with your friends.
Yeah.
You get to do it with like your brothers or your friends. For me, it was. I mean, for Powerhouse, it was always, we were friends first and the band second.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that was a shit. And fucking, yeah. And what Ernie, fucking crazy. Yeah, fucking, he's a dude that, he definitely left an imprint.
Yeah. 100%.
Like on Earth, that's for sure. Like I tell that story all the time, and I'll tell it again because, well, obviously Ernie had, for people that don't know, Ernie played bass and was also the good friend, right, and he passed away. How many years now?
Bro, 17 years.
Wait.
2004. December.
Ernie passed away 17 years ago.
Yeah.
You're fucking bugging me out because, I'm telling about what a presence he left because I feel like this shit didn't happen like 17 years ago. I remember that, but crazy. And like crazy. fucking well, Ernie passed away 17 years ago. Anyway, fucking, I tell this story always. Like, this fucking guy stuck in my soul when Ernie passed away. One of the times we were gonna when the band was playing SF. Right after he passed, I wasn't able to make that trip for some other reasons, but it was always in my head. It stuck in my head that I was like, yo, you know what, man? I want to see my man. I want to go for, man. It pissed me off that I didn't make that specific little trip to see his grave, you know?
Yeah.
It was a weird thing because it bothered me in a little way, like it stuck with me. Yeah. And then I remember being on tour. We're on another tour, and now we're coming through the Midwest, and they're like, yo, we're gonna be able to go through SF, you know, and they're like, yo, we're gonna make it to go visit Ernie.
Yep.
And I remember being like, yo, fucking like amped, like, yo, I felt like I gotta get this off my chest. I was psyched, we were actually telling a story about my man Double O. My ex at the time had got a one of these Native American guys who could, says he sees spirits.
Shaman or whatever, right?
Yeah, and basically recorded a tape of him telling us stuff. We were talking about that situation on the ride to SF. So we were already talking about like the supernatural kind of things going on, right? Yeah. And I remember just being really fucking like psyched. And then we met. We saw you. Remember, we went to visit Ernie at the spot. Remember, we went to hung out. We saw his spot. We did everything. I think we played a show or whatever it was. But long story short, that night we had to drive. We didn't have no hotels, and we couldn't find a hotel. So, but I remember we were mad. We left everybody on a high. Like, we felt good. Like, we saw Ernie, then we ate good. We hung out.
Yeah.
And there was everywhere we would stop, they were like, yo, all the hotels are booked. All the hotels are booked. And then we're like, why? And they're like, a baton twirling competition or some I'm not even joking. And we're like, are you fucking serious? We're driving every 15 minutes, half hour. Yo, and the next show was in LA, which is how many hours from SF driving?
Well, fuck, it's 400 miles. So depending on your job, it's at least 5. It's at least 5 hours.
Exactly. And we were trying to stop somewhere to sleep. We were expecting to stop a half hour, not expecting to keep driving. And we're running out of fucking gas or whatever. And then they go, pull over here. Fuck it. Let's just pull over. Let's see if there's something here. We go, man. Vacancy. Where at? They go, yo, we vacancy. What's the name? They go, we got 2 rooms left or whatever. And it was an old ass hotel in the middle of nowhere. We just happened to get off the exit to say, fucking go for it. They go, vacancy. We're psyched because we're like, yo, we'll sleep anywhere right now. They go, you're in the end section. They go, what's the name of the section? The Cortez. And that's Ernie's name. And we were like, fucking Ernie, because his last name was Cortez. We're like, motherfucker, Ernie got us the room.
Now for you, man.
I always remember that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And fucking
I remember when you guys told me at the first time, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was just how it fell into place that day. We were talking about him or whatever, and then it was like, you're in the Cortez section. And we're like, the what? And we're like, holy shit. And whatever, fucking but yeah, again, that was Mr. Oakland, Mr. fucking Bay Area.
Yeah.
What now let me ask you this. What do you think was the difference between the scenes in the Bay Area to LA? Not even on the good or bad, but what do you think was the difference? Not even like on trying to diss on anything, but what do you think what was the big difference? Because there was a difference in those scenes, like even in the vibe of people involved with the hardcore kids. You know what I mean?
Well, right. So I don't even know how to really explain that one.
Because like for South California, like San Diego, those are like hardcore kids. It's not so much punk. Like LA got a lot more punk. Like San Diego's like hardcore kid. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, for sure.
And SF hardcore and even SF punk is different than how it makes it. Then the hardcores was different, even though do you all right, let me ask you this.
We definitely you know what, this might be a good way to kind of explain it, and I don't this isn't like some not to be taken disrespectfully, but they're like, so up here I know a lot of the kids that were in the hardcore scene at that point, were some pretty street kids. Like they were just from the street. Where it seemed like down in LA, it's much bigger. There's a lot more suburbs and this and that. But you got some of that in there as well. And so, you know, just kind of a different vibe. Like people are coming from a little bit of different places and stuff. Like, I mean, definitely, I always felt like what we had here was still a little grimier. You know, just it was. That's what people say. Still, you know, and let me respect it all because
let me ask you this: what do you think? Do you think the hardcore in the Bay Area had the same percentage of, let's say, all right, punk rock in its hardcore than LA did?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was definitely a big punk scene here too, man. There was a whole lot of bands, and they didn't really like us, you know. I mean,
but that's what I mean. But that's what I mean. Like, even in New York, we didn't fuck around a lot with the punk scene, but obviously there's punk in the DNA, but very little and whatever. Yeah. And LA and the Bay Area, or Southern California, do you guys did you have the same percentage of punk rock and the same kind of punk rock involved with your hardcore?
I would say no. So it seemed to me more so that you would find that punks and skins and hardcore kids ending up more so you'd be more apt to find like punk rockers showing up at hardcore shows in LA. Punk definitely reigned supreme, particularly in the early 90s still, like in LA. That was definitely a thing. Like it was big. Up here, the punk bands that were doing their thing were like AFI before they had blown up. This band Screw 32, this other band, and they're more like on I guess like more like this skate punk hardcore kind of thing, a little more melodic or whatever. And they did the thing, and they had big followings up here and stuff too. And for us, again, we were kind of like the misfits, like not like the band, but the like we just didn't fit in. And some of it is, again, we go back to Ernie. People, we spent a lot of time having to fight a lot of people. Ernie knocked out a lot of people. Ernie had a reputation. And so a lot of people didn't want to fuck with us for that reason. And so, those guys particularly, it was a really PC time at Gilman. Gilman didn't want to fuck with us. We really had to pave our own way, man. I mean, that's where the whole OBHC came from. That whole thing came from because, for the longest time was the East Bay hardcore scene. It was EBHC, but these were all like, again, it was like Screw 32 and Good Riddance and AFI. And it was definitely more of a melodic thing, and they didn't want anything to do with us. Like it was pretty clear that they had no interest in booking shows with us. They didn't want to play shows with us. They didn't come to shows. We got around to a lot of stuff, but at that point it's like, well, fuck it. You guys are doing that. You guys are East Bay hardcore. We're Oakland brand hardcore. We're OBHC. This is what we're doing. And it kind of became a thing, and people liked it, and it kind of jumped on board, man. And we started carrying this flag, and people fucking followed, man. It was kind of cool, man. But it's like, I mean, it kind of felt the same to me as New York. I mean, I remember going to the first Super Bowl of hardcore and watching these couple dudes with mohawks, like, they put time in on them things, dude. They had literally walked in and they were there maybe 2 minutes and they're already going out a bloody mess with the shit punched sideways and like running for their lives back out the doors. The jacket's getting torn off them and shit.
Oh yeah,
and
crazy.
That's what I remember.
That definitely the Bay, and I love LA and that scene too. Yeah, but definitely the Bay Area reminded me. That style reminded me a lot of back home, and like that era of New York, like that era that I came up in, which was not the old school or whatever, but it's still a good grit area that I'm glad we caught that end of it, like to say like we did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, mid to late 80s, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and fucking and right now, what's the feel of the land with hardcore in the Bay Area? You feel like what's the feel?
It's thriving right now, and I respect all the bands that have been carrying this torch out here. Because like right now, you got some bands, Tsunami, Gulch, Drain.
I've heard of those bands. Jose. Gulch, I've heard of these bands, and that was a like crazy name, by the way.
Killing it, dude. Like these guys like blowing the fuck up, and they've been putting in work and doing good shit. And they did a show back in June, and there was like 2,000 kids.
Crazy.
They did some outdoor shit in between a couple of warehouses, like in a parking lot.
Yeah,
2,000 kids showed up, and that was But there's Drain too. Drain's from Santa Cruz, and they're all really just dope kids, man. And they've been all doing their part for a while now and shit, and putting in. That's actually, so you know what? Some of those members, remember Hands of God? You guys played with them.
Yes.
At the Gilman show when you guys played. They played that bill. So a bunch of those guys go across all of those bands. It's like there's like 1 or 2 interchanging members across all of those, but those guys are just killing it, dude. Like they're making a lot of noise and doing really good things.
You want to know how crazy the world is?
Yeah, what's up?
Nah, you just reminded me of something like punk rock dudes flipped on us for playing a hardcore show, right? You know that first one, right?
Yeah,
and then, but before the end, Gilman books us. Yeah. And what else? What was it? There was something else we just said. Gilman booked us and something else that would never fuck with us.
Never, yeah.
Punk Rock Bowling. Punk Rock Bowling. Shout out to Punk Rock Bowling. Yeah. But go figure, they're fucking with Madball now. And the other punk rockers don't fuck with us, but these punk rockers, shout out to the bowling punk rockers.
Yeah, the Stern Brothers, they do a good job out there.
You know what? But it's crazy at times, it's upside down, the world.
Yo, it is. It is, bro. Like I said, I just try to survive this shit every day, bro.
I know. And what's the deal with Powerhouse? So what's the deal? So shows. What's the shows? Any shows? There's gonna be something you're gonna pop on?
So we had, bro, I mean, we just been kind of waiting, and a lot of these, like, kids didn't necessarily know our status. And so like some of these pop-up kind of things were going on. Casey was kind of busy. Casey's out with Rancid right now. He texts for those guys. So he's going for a little bit, but we have our first shows back November 6th and 7th at the Parkside. I've been booking shows there for 13 years. And I was just kind of like, every time I put a show on it, I was like, yo, this place just rages. If my band plays, this is where I want to play. I want to be here. So Malia, she's the dopest.
Of course, dope.
I got a great relationship with her. She's always taking good care of me there. And we've always been able to put on dope shows there. And so we set up one show, and the fucking thing sold out faster than any of us expected. We were actually blown away. Like, wow, this is pretty. So we set up a second show. So we got a Sunday show, and there's still some tickets for that one. But those will be the first shows. And we were offered some things here and there, but I was like, yo, we gotta play hometown first. We can't just go out there. We gotta pay the respects and put the work in here. And so we're doing that. Unfortunately, like I said, we recorded these 6 songs, and we caught a vibe, and we literally just had to kind of finish we had a little bit of tracking left, some backup vocals and some other shit, and getting it mixed right. And the hard drive crashed, dude. And so now we got to record. So we're doing that at the end of November with hopes of having shit out, spring.
So you're re-recording the songs. You're waiting to put that out. Yep. You got these couple of shows, and then waiting to see what's up. That's what I think everybody's waiting to see. Fucking what else?
Right. I mean, so for all I know, these shows will get shut down in November. I mean,
no, don't.
I'm knocking on wood right now, but I'm gonna expect the worst and hope for the best.
Yeah, there's still time. I know what you mean. Is there any word on?
Well, I know we're playing with you guys. We're playing with you guys in January.
Oh yeah. Again, not go. Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. I tell people, we're playing anywhere we could play. We got some shows coming up. This is coming out this week. So yeah, we got shows coming up in 2 weeks with Gore. We got it's a couple shows, like 2 or 3 shows with Gore, and one show with I Hate God. It's good that we get to play with these, mix it up with these metal dudes. Yeah, they're dope. They got some dope shit in fucking Suffocation. Oh, fucking death metal band. Yeah, crazy shit. Yeah, it should be cool, and fucking do those shows, come home, and we doing those Cali shows, and then fucking I don't know where we're playing in Cali since they got rebooked. I just know the Punk Rock Bowling, I think an LA show.
Yeah, you got let me think, you can play in Orange County, you play Santa Ana again, Conservatory. Yeah. And you're playing 1720 again.
All right, yeah.
Proper.
Yeah, so fucking waiting to do that shit and working on this new Madball. So you guys recording again, and you're working on new music.
We got a ton of new music we still got to get through, dude. Like, we got so much that we've been, working on. So
hopefully the Black and Blue next for you guys, right? Hopefully we could do that shit.
We're open to a lot of shit. We got Abe too. Abe's playing second guitar for us.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
So we got a good squad. It feels right. The vibe is good. The music, I feel, is pretty good, man. Like people hear it and they're just kind of like, whoa, like they're kind of surprised, like, you know.
Yeah, that's dope. No, and I seen you guys like really like turn up. Like I started seeing it more. I know it was you guys were doing music. I saw the shows that got booked, that it got sold. Did you show wise, did Rancid play any of those shows recently up there? Did you catch any of those?
No, they haven't played here yet. They don't.
Oh, they haven't.
Nah, they play here in October.
Oh, it's October. That's gonna be sick, man. I wish I was there for that.
They can play outside. They play down there. Actually, they're playing at Stanford. I guess probably some stadium outdoors or some shit, or some amphitheater over there. You know?
It's been looking like some good shit. They've been playing. It seems like it's
I think they've good shows, man. You know, it's tricky for them though. So it's a weird situation too, because they're kind of partitioned from all the people that they might normally want to see. Like, you know, but how it all works, it's like they and the crew don't have contact with anybody else. They just fucking, you know, sequester and shit.
That's so insane.
It's the way, it's weird. I mean, it's a weird, like you said, it's a weird ass world, bro.
Yeah, it's a weird ass world. And for everybody out the Powerhouse, you guys got a Powerhouse page?
Bro. I mean, the crazy, you know, so remember, like, so 2004 is when Powerhouse, you know, dissolved, when Ernie passed away. So that was December 16th. The last official show that we had played at that point was in April. It was like April 23rd of 2004 was the last time we had played a show. And so I don't even know if MySpace was going at that point. Like, it might have just been starting and shit. So
it was someone's space back then.
So, you know, we're in the process right now. So these are some dope things. Like, we will get a Bandcamp up and going here. You know, we got the Powerhouse OBHC Instagram. I got my Cris Powerhouse Instagram. People can kind of see what, you know, some of the shit that's going on. I only kind of put shows out on my shit. But Eddie's really good about that. You might see a bunch of Mexican bakery shit on there too.
Ándale.
But you know, nonetheless, you know, we're getting shit out there. But also, our Pitchfork is going to put out. So our brother Warren.
Shout out to Pitchfork. I was just talking with him earlier. Yeah,
we're going to put this out for us and shit, which would be sick. So I'm excited. So, you know, it may just be this EP. It may just be this 6-song EP. We may decide. It just kind of depends on the time. And we're excited. We've had a bunch of these songs for over a year now, so we really want to play them.
Am I gonna see you on any of these trips?
Yeah, I hope so, man. I mean, my situation's a little complicated right now.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I can't do the run with you guys this time. I normally get to go out with you guys when you come to California, but I don't know if I can give up some of those days of work.
Yeah,
now, because my money's kind of got fucked up.
Yeah,
but I might be able to at least make it down to LA to see you guys.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, because the catches. I'm still trying to get out there on some fucking. I need a fucking vacation shit, which I never do.
Stay with me, sure, bro. You know
what's up. Of course, that's what we've been talking about. I've been wanting to do, but I'm glad I fucking got you on here. I wanted to get you on for me. I saw you guys grinding a lot, and I wanted to fucking touch base. I said, yo, we'll touch base quick for here and whatever, and fuck it. And I'm getting Big Cris and fucking Omerta squad fucking them too. And I was thinking about you. I was like, oh, I'm gonna start knocking
doors.
Yeah, exactly. So fucking but I'm glad I got to get up with you, man. You know what's up.
Yeah.
Again, everybody get that new Powerhouse. Go follow Cris on his Instagram. What's the other one? The OBHC page.
Powerhouse OBHC. Powerhouse.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
Go follow that shit on Instagram. When the shit drops, you're gonna see the exclusive on Casa de Rock.
That's right.
I'm gonna be selling bootlegs. Look for me first.
There you go.
But you know what's up, Cris. I love you. Tell everybody what's up. I'm glad this is gonna come out this Thursday. So in a couple of days, I'll hit you up tomorrow or something, and I'll send you flyers and all that good shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yo, you know what's up. Tell everybody one love.
Tacos, bro. That's what's up. I'm waiting.
Yo, remember that. Remember, yo, keep things spicy.
That's right, 100%.
Yeah, I love you there. Yo, peace out. We out.
What's up, brother? Peace.
We out.